All right, so back at it again in the clubhouse, or as everybody's calling it now, the shaft. Mine shaft, I should say, not just shaft. So still no electric. We're at January 17th now. There's this whole to do with the electric for inspection and stuff, but it is getting straightened up. But I am down here today. Justin's going to be joining me in a bit. Down here, I'm going to do a little prep on the walls. I ordered up some paint because right now the paint colors we have is like this, lovely off-white. But it is old. It needs a good cleaning and a good paint over. I've already patched some of the holes previously, so I'm going to sand those today. And so it's just going to be a little bit of work. We're getting everything out of this room, which is going to be the main gaming room, so that we can do the paint. Then we're going to get everything cleaned. Good news is we launched our Patreon yesterday with new Patreon levels. So our Patreon is set up at a $1 pledge as a thank you to the club for things that we do. That can just be as simple as, hey, thanks for the stuff you guys do, or something as good as, we've run events in the past, we've done giveaways, we've done stuff out of our own pocket. So it's a chance for other people to just throw us a buck, Everything we raise on Patreon goes right back into this space. That was something that we need to make upfront and clear with everyone. None of this, we're not making money off this. In fact, the 4 founding members of this venture I'll admit, it is costing us money. But it's something we're doing just to have our own gaming space that's available to our Patreon. So we do have a $5 Patreon level. That's $5 per month. So what you get for that, you don't gain access to the space with that level. But as a thank you, we're going to give you guys some limited edition Cold Legion dice. We're in the process now of ordering them. So after you pay for an entire year of membership at the $5 level, you will get, I think it's 10 dice for you. And these, you can't buy these anywhere else, obviously. And then it won't be black and white. Those are our traditional colors for our dice. We are looking at some pretty cool options. So that's at our $5 level. And there's some additional things that we'll be putting into these Patreon levels as time goes on, but these are just the base things that we have set up. So at the $10 level, you get everything at the $5 level, obviously. So you get the dice. You're also going to get your choice of a laser engraved or laser etched pint or whiskey glass with the Cold Legion logo, and we're gonna also put some other stuff on there. Once again, that's at the $10 level, and after paying for an entire year. So the people who have already joined up this January, so next January, they will be getting their glasses, their dice, and everything. But the big thing is at the $10 level, you are at what I'm calling, and we have to agree on this, but in my terms, it's a junior membership. So that enables you to have access to the space when we're running open days for gaming. So what that means? That means that if once a month, we've already decided, at least once a month, we will open the space up. We're not sure of the hours, but it will be opened up for enough time to get a couple games in. When I say enough time, we already have the first one, set up for February 8th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Now those hours may change a little bit, but they're not going to get shorter than that. They may get a little longer. We're hoping to have the electric by then. That's why we're doing 10 to 4. If we have electric by then, awesome, we'll extend it. If not, we'll go from there. But both, if you and your buddy want to come in, both of you have to be a $10 Patreon member to come into the space. So you can't just say, well, I'm a Patreon person, I want to bring my buddy up, he's not, so I'm just going to bring him anyways. One of us will be in the space. We will know who the Patreon members are, and we will ask them to make a donation to the club. You're coming into this space. we equate it, and I equate it especially to, if you go to a game store, you support that local game store. In supporting that local game store, at $10 a month, and this example was brought up by someone who just joined our Patreon last night. They go to a local game store. If they go, now they're driving almost 40 minutes to get there to play games. If they go, they feel obligated to pay for something, which, and you should support your local game stores. This is not a venture to try to cut them out. But you go there and you may spend, depending on what you buy. If you buy a model, you're $30 to $70 to $100 in just for that 1 hour of gaming. You may not go back up to that game store anytime soon, or you may go there every weekend. So for us, at $10, if you get 1 day in, or even if you get multiple days in, and this is available, that's where it benefits you guys. That's where it benefits everyone and builds the community. Like I said, he used the example of, he comes up to there once or twice a week. He'll spend anywhere from $10 to $15 just on snacks. That's not even counting if he buys paint, models, he's buying snacks. So he said he realized that when he was driving and he was thinking about joining the Patreon, he's like, I'm spending close to $30 to $60 a month just on snacks. And as he put it, food he doesn't need, because we all need junk food. But this way, he's like, I can spend $10, even if I come into your space for once a month, get a great day in a gaming, it's well worth it. And that's kind of, everybody has to come up with that. Now, part of being a junior member is you will get some voting rights. We're still hammering that out, but those voting rights will be on what kind of upcoming games we have. That's like the basis of it. Like if we say we're looking at running a league or a tournament or something, that's what we're looking at doing. Like, hey, we'll put it out to everybody. Say, hey, if you're a Patreon member, if you're a Patreon member, absolutely vote on what tournament do you want to see? What games do you want to see in the space? What terrain do you want to see us have in the space for you guys? It'll be that kind of voting rights. It won't be on, like decisions made for the overall. That still retains with the founding members. Now, that's not to say in the future that may change. Game clubs are ever evolving. So we're trying to keep that in mind. We're trying to be fair and everything, but we're also asking people to be fair with us. The hugest part of that is we are trying to do as much with transparency as we can. We do not, like I said, we are not making money at this at all. In fact, it's costing us money. It's costing us time. Like today's a Friday. I took a day off from work to come in and work on this. The next process after we do the paint, we're getting tables in here. We want a game. We want to use the space. We're working with the landlord for the electric. There's permits that had to be obtained. From what I heard last night, those permits have been obtained. Now we're just waiting on the city code inspector to do his part. So I'm hoping we have electric soon. Having electric in here is going to be huge for us, because then we can use it at any time of the day. Will we stop doing our Thursday night gaming? And traditionally we do it at the Cove because they're open till 9 o'clock. No, we still will be going up there from time to time. It may not be at the same frequency. We may be shifting a little bit of gaming up here to the weekends because we can get started earlier. But as a good point that we have tried to stress in the entirety of our time as a game club, we have never wanted to be tied to one store. So we are not tied to the Alchemist Cove, the Banished Stone, Adventures Guild, any of that. Not even Mythic Studios, even though we like to go there. They treat us like royalty. And I'll be the first to admit I love going there because of the warm atmosphere. But we are not tied to and or associated with any store, and that is the key. Is that to say that we are going to not partner with stores? Not at all. We will gladly partner with stores. In fact, right now we're doing that with the Bolt Action version 3 Escalation League that we just kicked off. It'll be starting, I believe it officially starts in February, right when our space opens. But we will be making the trips out to the stores and supporting them. everyone who joins, it's a $15 fee to join. And we have everything's laid out, there's a player packet already. You pick your home store. I believe we're up to 4 or 5 stores right now. We even had a store from Jersey ask us to take part. The difference is we want to have we don't just want to run it. We want to have, some interaction with the stores, to have that good faith with them. So the biggest part of that is going out to that store and running demos for them, helping them build their community. Helping them build their community helps build our community. And that's the one thing that we're really looking forward to, building the community more and more and getting more people out gaming. I've been gaming for, at this point, almost 30 plus years. Every time I move to a new area, it's always, I have to drive, I have to find people. That's something that it should be a lot easier. Our local gaming stores, brick and mortar stores, they're there, but they're, sometimes it's a tight click to get into. Plus you gotta, work your schedule around theirs. So we, with the Bolt Action League, are partnering with them. So you're $15 to join that. And it's a one-time thing, it's $15. We are putting that money back into prize support, and we're supporting the stores, because we have our own prize support that we're putting in for this. But we're also putting that $15 that you pay into gift cards for the store for winners. So a big chunk of that. So we've got some people who maybe, like at one store, they may be getting a gift card, whether they wanted to or not. We have some free things we're gonna be giving people. That some of it may be Cold Legion stuff, We may even gift someone, we haven't discussed it fully, completely yet, but we may give someone the $10 membership for a month or two. Just to get them in here playing. There's all kinds of stuff that we're looking at doing. But the Bolt Action League, the Escalation League, that is phenomenal. It's being put on by all 4 of us. I have not had a huge hand in it because I've been working with the space, but Justin and Joe have been doing a phenomenal job with that. Matt's been doing a great job reading over the paperwork for us, doing what Matt does. We joke that he's the meeting czar, but he's phenomenal at that kind of stuff. And all of us will be playing in it. I think our first demo day is actually next weekend at the Adventures Guild. So we'll be down there running demos. I'll be bringing my Soviets. In fact, to start this league off right, months ago, I actually stripped all my Soviet models. Let me just tell you, I was very upset because I'm looking at now repainting the Soviet Horde Army. But with version 3 coming out, it was a perfect opportunity to do it. So I will be partaking. I paid my money. Yes, we don't get free membership in our own Escalation League. I paid my money into it, and I'm going to be doing it. I work up at Hazleton, so that's actually kind of northeast of here. And we haven't really touched that area because it's the Wilkes-Barre, Scranton. We might. There may be times where I'm like, hey, I want a game up here. Get these guys involved. I know there's a bunch of game stores up there. So, but back to what I was talking about with the space, because I just got on a total rant there. I'm in here today to sand. Justin will be here hopefully shortly. I'll have to go over and pick up paint soon. But yeah, other than that, stay tuned. We'll have some video. It'll probably get sped up, and I apologize if at some point you see me lose pants because I'm wearing shorts as well, because the space does get very hot, as we've found the other day when we were in here. So stay tuned, and we'll talk to you guys later. All right, here we are. It's almost 3:30. It's starting to get a little dark on us on the 17th here. Jason, oh wow, yeah, my brain's spent already. Justin and I, we don't even have a Jason.
Yeah, there's even a Jason in the middle.
Justin and I went and got the wood.
Because they're used to calling me things you can't say on camera.
That's right. That's the Shaft After Dark, for those of you who know. So anyways, we got over to Lowe's. We got our wood picked up to make 2 tables for this space. We did start painting. You can kind of see in the background, that's all the stuff we didn't get done. You can kind of see there. But the good news is,
You can see a small color
it's
contrast.
small color contrast between the
The
two.
gray and the green.
The good news is the color we picked out is covering perfectly. We ended up going with it's almost like a very light grayish color. It almost looks blue in the camera from what I'm seeing. But the nice thing is that above it is actually white. There is a hanging rail that we're gonna probably do on an accent color or whatever. But it's hiding a lot of the stuff that was in the walls. I'm looking at the one wall here that we just did. That was the very first wall we did, and it actually looks pretty good.
Yeah, a lot of the small dings and cracks and stuff are all covered up.
Yeah, the plaster and lath, it's an old building, 1925. So the plaster does have cracks in it. So part of this is sealing all that in as well. Luckily, Justin was kind enough to volunteer to do all the trim work, all the trimming.
Don't look closely.
I just did the
Don't zoom
rolling. So, but yeah, we're pretty happy with it so far. Tomorrow, hopefully, if we're not drunk, thanks to Pottsville doing Winterfest, where they're gonna probably have a beer garden right down the road from us.
From us.
So when Joe shows up,
Make a cut, reward with drink. Make a cut, reward with drink.
exactly. So we're gonna hopefully have tables built tomorrow. We still don't have electric. That's why we're calling it a day at this point, not finishing, because we can't see what we're doing.
Can't see the difference.
Yeah, but it might take another coat in a few spots. But all in all, we were talking. We're feeling pretty good about it.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
We're getting there. Electric would be great, but we're making do with what we can. We're still trucking along. The paint's going to be the big thing, getting the tables in here. The goal is going to be by the end of tomorrow, I would think, maybe another day or so, depending on how long it takes to build the tables. This would be a playable space with 2 tables. So
Definitely.
besides for, again, the carpet cleaning and all that stuff, it's going to be a little tougher now once we get the tables built.
Moving on one side.
Yeah. But we'll at least be 50% operational with the playable space here, so I think it's...
Another big win, we found out we can open a window.
Yeah,
So
not
we're
a
not,
sauna.
we're not dying in here of the heat.
It's probably good too with all the paint fumes that we did over there.
Yeah, it does seem to, it was drying quick when we got it on the walls.
But I think the ultimate goal of really February 1st, when the lease is official and everything,
Yeah, we can start gaming.
it'll actually be not a month of prepping. We'll be ready to start rolling dice right away.
Yeah, so once again, if you found our page, whatever, and you're in the Schuylkill County, Berks, that's really it, because Schuylkill County is so dang big.
Yeah, we're southern Schuylkill County
Yeah.
because of being such a big county.
But if you're in the area and you found us, look, we'll have a link for the Patreon down below. Feel free to join our Patreon. Once again, just like I said in the other video, $5 Patreon gets you 10 dice, I think.
Yep, 10 of our specialty CLG dice that will be available only for Patreon members. So we do have another color dice that we usually just hand out at events. It'll be a specific Patreon.
Yeah, that's the only way you can get them. And you'll get that after a year of being a Patreon member. And if you're at the $10 level, you will gain access to the space on open game days. You won't have a key, but you'll actually, when we're down here and we open it up, like I said, it's guaranteed 1 day a month for $10. Plus, at the end of that year, you will get a pint or whiskey glass of your choice, which is laser engraved. Like I said, it'll have the Coal Legion logo on it, and we're also looking at doing something kind of cool on it as well. So definitely collect them, because we were actually looking, and I found some Belgian beer glasses and all kinds of different ones we could do. Yeah. So once again, thanks, and hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll see you guys later.
Absolutely.